Morning, everyone. Anna Marie, did you get the GBP CPI straddle trade this morning? Or anybody? I have to do it myself. Made a quick buck. Very nice. Thank you very much.
Morning. No, we were still in bed this morning. It was so cold.
Well, I don't know. That cost you money being a freezing cold.
Yes, it
cost
did.
you money. It went very.
It did. We
Look at that.
could have made some bucks there, but no, we were so cold and we did not set the alarm. So yeah, you know, we are really cold in the mornings, and it's a battle getting out of bed. But yes, missed that one. Will not next time.
Okay. What I suggest you do is a tip. For God's sake, don't tell your husband this. Next time you kick him out of bed and he plays it for both of you and you stay warm. How's that?
No, yeah, you don't realize it, but he's the one that's up first. He's the one that did most of the stuff early in the morning. Okay. I'm the one that sleeps in. Dirk is not trading at the moment. He will again trade at a later stage. So we both doing the looking and the doing and the what can I say, the trading on my account, but later he will join again. But he's not out of it. He's looking what I am doing, and he was the first to tell me this morning we could have made some bucks.
Yeah. Sorry to say, yeah. So freezing cold has cost you. Anybody else? There's a pity about that. Yeah, because I did okay. I again, we all do. I got a little bit early because I started jumping around, so I took it. I missed my excuse. I was going into a morning meeting anyway on the side, so I couldn't do both. So I thought I'd just take it so I can concentrate on the meeting, and I could have done better. I made a good, decent, reasonable tom on it, but I could have actually tripled it, to be honest. But anyway, did anybody else do the morning? New Zealand came out with a CPI. That's in the middle of the night. Yeah, it was even too cold for me, that is. But the GBP was 8. I'm usually up in the morning about 6-ish, so that wasn't too bad. Put the heater on or whatever. But anybody do the GBP CPI trade? I did it on this particular one here. But anybody else do it? Well done, Nomvuzo. Oh, hang on, before I say well done, I trust you made a buck out of it. You made some money out of it. Are you still in it? It's still holding. Well, you made some serious buckaroos then, because you should have got in around about, this is the hour, yeah, that was 8 o'clock opening. You should have got in around about that level, so you'll be over 100 pips up. Well, get your stop loss sorted. Well bloody done. Well done. Worked nicely. Well, listen, Anna Marie and company, panic not. 11 o'clock, Euro CPI. Okay, so there you are. Euro CPI at 11 o'clock. So remind me when it gets close to 11 that we can sort that one out together here in the trading room. See how that goes. Okay. Fit and fine stuff. Sounds fun. Yeah, well, I hope it's going to be fun. If it makes money like Nomvuzo. So just us two made money. Chris, you didn't do it then, were you? Anyway, guys, I'm going to start sharing the screen. You know the score. So classes, I have to introduce myself, Roger. Classes, it's a forum more than a class. Interact like Anna Marie just did, or post on the chat line. Okay. You got in this morning on, because that was already running that trade. That's already been running, so that's fine. Yeah, I think it's still got a little bit of way to go to the target. I think it's another 18 pips to the target. So that trade, gold, gold hit the target, hit the TP at 1980 yesterday afternoon, early evening, something like that. GBPCH is nearly there. You've got a target of 1.11. You might have had a wider target if you're going in at the Martin, but that seems to be going fine. Remember, do not be buying the Swiss, sorry, do not be selling. Would be that. Do not be selling the Swiss franc. Okay. Well, it's been pretty pitfall for me so far this morning anyway. Where were we in? Yeah, 11 o'clock euro, don't let me forget. New Zealand, if anyone was up for that, could have done one there. And the GBP, a little bit better inflationary figures, hence the weakening of the pound. And yeah, so there we are. Okay, so let's have a look now. And look at a couple of trade ideas. Now I feel excited about them or not. This is one of them. I looked a little bit earlier, about 15, 20 minutes ago, to get in, actually, to be honest, a slightly better price. I had it down for 139.35. Okay, 139.25, sorry, it's gone up by 10 pips. And the NZD CAD, I was looking that might get a bit of a bounce. We'll have a look at that in a second, just let these guys in. Okay, so I'll just go to the daily. There. Well done. So again, well, that's the fact that you're agreeing with me. We could get a bit more upside. Okay, well, that's fantastic. I see what you mean. Yeah, you're alert to these moving averages. You got on here, around about here to take it up. I get it. Well done. Well bloody done. I think there's possibly a bit more upside. Let's have a look at the. Sorry, I've shared the screen. Haven't I? Idiot. Might help. Yeah. I think it could be a bit of possibility of more upside. No, or is it? No, sorry, downside. No way, buddy, around. Sorry, downside. Thought that didn't look right. Could be a bit of downside on this one. The Japanese yen is getting a bit stronger. The dollar is trying to hold above 100 and battling. It's coming off again. I thought there might be a possibility of that resistance there or support for going short down here somewhere, or I think down here, that's right, something like that, and the stop just up here. Or I think I'll put the 4 hour anyway. Oh, that's, yeah, that's correct. So there's a possibility of a sell on that one. I'm looking more at the format for a trading idea there. Stop here, we'll be able to stop up here somewhere. That's too far. Up here somewhere. Be down there. Anyway, anyone like the look of it or not so sure on this one? Leave it alone for the time being. We can do that instead. Okay, we'll leave that. URGBP. So that was stopped out, by the way. We had, as you know, we had a trade on that one, and that thing hit the stop loss, 86.20. Yeah, it did hit the stop loss. Right, let's go back to this one. Bit of a, as you can see, a bit of damage down on that. The pound's weakened. The euro's coming out at 11 o'clock. So you should have been stopped out unless you played with a stop and you're still in it, which you shouldn't be doing. Very naughty. So at the moment, it might get a better attempt to come off again. But I'm just a little bit worried about the euro coming out to 11 with the CPI. That could alter the situation. Look at the CPI on the GBP just now. Look at the out chart. Came out at 8, has already jumped, as you can see. It's not that much. It's more than the chart than it actually is. 50 pips. So I wouldn't play cute with that one for the moment. Okay. I just mentioning I did as well, and Nomvuzu did, and it came a little bit late because a certain Mevrouw Funneberg, too cold to get out of bed to do it, and it's cost her big time. So feel free to tease her. Yeah, so well bloody done. Euro. Oh yeah, good point. Which one? Let's have a look. That's a good question. What should we do? Let's have a look. What should we do? EU. Should do the AUD. USD. USD. It's quite strong, the Swiss. EUR/GBP. No, that's already been done. It's thinking. I think maybe we'll go to the Euro NZD. We should do Euro USD. Oh, good questions. I hate it when people ask me good questions. Damn. Ooh. Let's do the daily, so look. And Euro USD. Okay, should we go back to our favorite Euro USD? NZD or I can't make my mind up. NZD or I've toned it down to those two. I'm not sure about the Euro CAD. It's up to you.
Right.
Go for it. What do you reckon?
If you look at finviz.com and you look at the daily performance against the USD, you'll see that the euro is the strongest against the British pound. And maybe it's a good idea to go for Euro NZD.
Okay, I can see you thinking not the pound, because that's already been blasted with some profit taking might be coming in on the pound. So leaving that for that reason. Okay, right. Okay.
Or Euro AUD, either or. Not sure.
To be fair, somebody's come up with not a bad point there, Gerard. One thing about the Euro USD, it is the cheapest spread. It's the cheapest spread. Hang on, in fact, more, look at that, that's a good point. Look at that spread. That's too wide. Look at the euro dollar spread. Yeah. Okay. Not well spotted, Gerard. Sorry, you can do what you like. You pick the one you want. The principle's just the same, but you've converted me. I'm going to go Euro USD for this one. For myself, you can do obviously the ones you particular. Well, I'm suggesting the Swiss franc and the pound you leave out of this one for the time being, but the others you can pick and choose. But as I say, that's convinced me because the spread differential. Very good point. You can go bigger lot size if you feel comfortable. Well, obviously within reason.
Well spotted, Gerard. Nice.
Yeah,
I like
well
it
done.
as well.
Yeah, that's convinced me. Yeah. See, that's why we need a forum, guys. See, we need this. I would have missed that. Well, good. Nice one. Okay, really good point. Right. Okay, so that's sorted. Euro USD. Now, also AT micro. Yeah. AT micro is fine. Thanks, Ivan. Yeah, that's fine. AT micro is fine. If you feel confident, and especially like Gerard, who might have made a couple of bucks this morning on the CPI, and let's say he normally risks 10, you might want to go for 15, 1.5 times it. So, but just do it within your comfort head level. Make sure your head's right with it. Don't go too big if your head's not right, and it goes wrong for whatever. Nothing's 100%, and you can handle it mentally if you do go a bit bigger. But yeah. The beauty is, if you just made, let's say, 1,000 rand or whatever, don't know that figure, be 100 or 50, that don't matter. 1,000 rand, for argument's sake, you can go a bit bigger because you got a little bit of money there to play with, just in case. And it's not, it's just a head game. This makes you feel a little bit. Well, I lost a bit more because it went wrong, but hang on, I made a bit more on that one. Now I'm back screwed. Yeah, it's all about playing with your head in the correct direction. I'm going to stick 10 pips. I'm going to stick with that. But if you want 15, it's up to you. Only thing is, you go 15, you're going to have to maybe 120 or something per micro because you're getting a slightly bigger distance. 80 rand. I wrote 80 rand. It's not exact, roundabout on a 10. So you're going 15. That's 50% more. So you have to reduce your position size. But it's up to you. That's correct, Peter. Yeah. We're just doing the brainstorming which one, but Gerard's come up with a jackpot about cheaper costs of the euro dollar.
Strange enough, I was also looking at this morning as well, the Euro USD for that one. So yes.
Yeah. Okay.
But I got whiplash this morning on the one that came out early on. It was horrible, but I managed to close it.
Which one did you get whiplash? Because I did very well. The pound or the New Zealand?
I went in with the pound against the Aussie dollar. What the Aussie dollar? I think it was. Yeah, and I got a bit of a whiplash there, but I managed to recover it. Thank goodness.
Goodness, yeah, because as I say, I didn't get any whiplash. I put 10 pips above below and I got absolutely zero whiplash. I did just nicely. God's could have done a lot better, as always is the case. What was it again? GBP AUD. AUD.
That's correct. Yeah.
Yeah, stupid excuse of going to meetings. I just closed it so I can keep an eye on both. I attend this meeting, and looking back, should just put the bloody stop in, let it run, and I'd have probably done about 3 times better. I made about £1,000. I could have made about 3, so I'm a bit annoyed about that myself. Yeah, because you know, anyway, whatever. But still came up with a profit. Vuzu's got her head screwed on because she's still in it. I think maybe start taking a bit of profit there off the table. You did very well out of it, but at least you came out ahead, which you should have done. Because I did the NZD and I didn't have any whiplash, so I'm glad you got ahead on that one. Good to have some good news. That's a nice way to start the day. Yeah, it's been breakthrough resistance. I'm just scared of chasing it, guys. Very scared of chasing this. For a sell, yeah, I don't want to buy it. Yeah, my problem is this: you got to go to the monthly to get a previous one. That's my worry, and even that's not really going to cut it. That's only 70 pips, so you got to go back about 12 years, if I remember rightly. I think it was about 2003. It's something ridiculous to get a proper one. Go back to daily spots. See a thing on that. So look. No, I want to sell it, but I just can't. I'm just can't find what I call a decent TV. Look, I can do it. A fib maybe do a fib extension. Will that work? Now, sorry guys, I always get the wrong way around. So if you get that, I've got the right way around. Right, what can we do with a fib extension? You see, that's only 80 pips using a fib extension. And so you have to go back to, it's about 2003 or something, way back, talking about 10 years ago, to get about 150, 200 pip or whatever it was, to get a decent TP. That's my only issue. Watch it. Can you, who called it out there? Who's it? Just get the name. Just give me a second. Gerard, yeah. Watch it a bit. If you get a bit higher up, maybe if it gets to 77, what's nearly there now, isn't it? That's only 3 pips away, you dick. No, 77 on there. If you can jump a few more pips up, maybe we'll have another look at it. Can you do me a favor? Just watch it. It's only about 10 pips away. We can get it up to 53.80 on the bid on the sell. Well, a few things. I try and take maybe a weaker currency. I try and leave very strong ones out of the picture because it could have a sort of a hold the back effect. Something like the pound, I would leave in this case. We already had a CPI out of it, and it might affect it a bit. Just probably experience and a feeling, to be honest. I'm not going to be scientific on that one. I think best suggestion there, Sam and company, is you got my WhatsApp number. If you see something come up and you think it's possible to settle trade, you can just say, I'm looking at that, what do you reckon, and what pairs do you suggest? The good part about it, if it doesn't work out too well on that pair, you've got somebody's backside to give it a big kick to, even if it's on the virtual. I think it's probably experience that's for that. See how it works out. Okay, so pity, but yeah, just get a slightly better price up here somewhere. Something like that, and then maybe we can look at it. What's it that down to here? 30 pips, that's all. Just not hell of a lot of meat on my bone, that's the problem. Anyway, so be it. When the GBP USD, did you be with us? Did you? Oh, you mean when you took your stand trades? You mean, okay. Okay, well, sort of thanks, saying thank you there, Sam. Brilliant, brilliant answer. Okay. Right, okay, let's have a look. NZD CAD is something I was looking at. I thought might get a chance of a bounce. I know we had the CPI coming out, which should brought the NZ should be down there. I think maybe it seems to be going back after that announcement and pulling on the 50. I thought there'd been a possibility of upside on that. So I'm just looking at the other. What do you think about that? Just check on something. JPY. Okay, well, if you want to look at this, we'll come back to it then. You want to look at NZD-JPY. I want to short this. I want to buy it. NZD-JPY. Not sure. Even though it's the buy zone, I think it's going to come back a bit. I'm not great faith in New Zealand at the moment, and more faith in the Japanese yen. But the technicals are telling me a buy, and the fundamentals are telling me a sell. I'm not sure what to do with that, apart from leave it alone, which I'm going to do. But that's my opinion. Does anyone want to do something with this? Okay, we'll leave it there. Okay. There's a couple of is it GBP CAD? I think there's a possibility of a buy on this. I think that's now been taken out, and I think there might be a little bit of strengthening. I'm not sure, to be honest. That's not helping my cause at all. Yeah, I think technically, I think could get some upside on this one. If nothing else, a bit of a profit-taking bounce, if nothing else, after CPI. I'm not confident at all, to be honest. What do you think, Edwin? What does anybody think? I'm just not confident on this one. I need a bit of moral support. Come on, Rambos, give me some moral support. Trading Rambos. Yeah, I'm leaning towards that picture as well. I think it's possibly upside, but not enough confirmation. I think I'm putting into the realms of guesswork here and feelings rather than much scientific stuff going on there. I'm going to leave that. It could as well. That's also true. And Brent's doing quite well. As expected, to do a little bit better. The prognosis going forward is a bit more upside on Brent. That's a good point. A bit weird yesterday as well. So I've just stopped there to type out any trade. Didn't have one yesterday. I haven't got one today either. Don't give up looking though. We might stumble on. Hey, hallelujah. And what is Brent doing, by the way? Because I see more upside. We'll jump in now, by the way. Well, WTI we got out. I think a lot of guys didn't get their buy limit filled, actually, so probably not in it. If you didn't, and it's still at 73.70, I'd take it out. You don't want to leave an order sitting there in the market in case you forget about it. So if you've still got a 73.70 buy limit on, I suggest you delete it. But I think some guys went in regardless, which, well, as it turned out, did a bit of a favor. So I do see a little bit more upside. I might hover a bit, but I think it's more up to 77, 78 on WTI. It will be that, Ivan, yeah. Well, what happens to get released like that? Such a big effect. People get a bit quiet beforehand, rather understandably. You're not going to suddenly buy or sell a dollar just before the non-farm payrolls or the US CPI. You get the point. So yeah, that's very likely the situation. Okay, Brent probably the same thing. Yeah, I think it's probably a bit more upside. It's a good chance of getting maybe 81, maybe even up to 80, 82 or something. But don't join it now. If you're on board, well, modify your stop. You're doing okay. Gold hit TP, leave it alone for the time being. So that's quite nice. Yep, hit the 1980, very nice. Hovering around the moment. I wouldn't short it now, just at its high, but I certainly wouldn't be buying it. It's a bit high, so leave it alone. So yeah, we'll do 11 o'clock. So I hope you haven't got to rush off. You might have a slightly extended TR this morning for that particular reason. Probably going to be quite up to then. Looked at a couple of others. Dollar yen, NZD CAD. NZD CAD. Not, I think looked at that. No one was particularly keen on it. Thought there was a chance of a bit of a bounce, but nobody's very keen on this one by the look of it. Because I thought that wasn't too bad. GBP NZD was another one. Thought it might hold, but no, we just looked at it, not too keen. AUD NZD. I looked at that this morning. I just can't seem to find something there. Look at that candle there. It's a just under 10-hour-old candle. You didn't know whether to go up or down, which is probably the way I feel at the moment. Remember, in a couple of days, gone from the sell zone right through the neutral into the buy zone. And now a little bit the NZD CPI coming out affected it. If you sell it, you're buying the NZD at the moment. But if you're buying it, I'm not sure on this one either. Are you considering inviting others that are usually part of the straddle trades? I'm sorry, Ivan, I'm not sure what you mean by that. What others? What are you talking about there? That's correct, but I wasn't up for that. I was fast asleep. Yeah.
Usually we have the straddle trades at 2:30, and there's usually about 100+ people that's normally with.
Oh, I see what you mean. Oh, gotcha. No. We're going to have 2 a month at 2 o'clock for the non-farms and the US CPI, and that's it. This is for the guys who are doing the others like the pound or whatever, in this case the euro, no, just for the guys here. Anyone can join. I mean, no problem there. Don't have to pay for it, but the guys who take the trouble to join the trading room will do it together. That's not a bad idea. Maybe I can put that on my. That's not a bad idea. I should think about it. So, not a bad idea. I'll just post that. Give me a second. I'm just going to put that in. Okay, well, you're already with us on Vuzo, but yeah, to see if any other guys want to join us for it. I just put it on the VIP group. If they don't, they don't. It's up to them. I'm trying to encourage people to do this because hopefully that will encourage their trading. Sorry, just get this sent out and done. Yeah, we're doing the euro dollar. The straddle trade 11, we're doing the euro dollar. I think that's been agreed. Right. Okay, sorted. Anything else you'd like to look at? But I'm going to give this a miss for the reason I described. Okay. Struggling at the moment to find some. Let's just try a little bit. Let's go to the top here and see if we can find anything quickly. This could get a bounce. This could very much get a bounce. Now we're speaking on that. Purely technical bounce. Stop down here somewhere. Maybe an aggressive trade on this one for a bounce. That's the 4 hour. No, look at that. As it goes up, it's coming down again. Too sideways for my liking. I see a possibility, but it's not enough confirmation. This would clearly be a sell. Remember, do not be selling the Swiss franc. Broken through. Can we get a target? Nope. Can't really get a target there. So that ship sailed. Dollar rand, yeah. That's coming out as well, by the way. That's coming out at 10 o'clock CPI, and interest rate decision tomorrow, don't forget, at 3 p.m. Yeah. So leave that alone for the time being. Don't do it. Straddle trade on the ZAR, please. Costs are too high, margin too high. No, leave that alone. That's just for pure trading if you can understand it and got the money in the rest of it. Pound dollar. If you're right at the beginning of your trading journey, leave the ZAR alone. I think we can get some more downside here. A dollar, let's have a quick check and look at the dollar doing at the moment. Have you all got the dollar? Just make sure that, just get this out of the way. Let's just get this sorted out. First of all. Right, if you haven't got the dollar, I'm about to send you, that's the dollar index, okay. Right, what is the dollar index doing at the moment? It's seems to be hovering around the 100. It seems to be holding there. Seems to be holding there. The pound, I think, is now showing a little weakness because the CPI came out in its favor. Inflation seems to come down a bit. And it's taken out the, well, taken out, but it's trying to take out the 10-day moving average. Were you looking for a buy or a sell, Bongani? You just said pound dollar. I'm thinking might be a bit of downside here. Can I get any confirmation? Ooh, no, I don't like this. It's got a bit of problem, 60 pips away. What's the 4 hour doing? You agree with the sell, okay. It's broken through here on the sell. So yeah, I think okay on the sell. What's the stop line? It's not too bad. Stop after today's high. Maybe use a 4 hour. Put it up here above this guy here. It's too far. Maybe something like that. Yeah, I'm into like this. I think the CPI is going to hold it down. I think the dollar is going to hold it. How far can we go down here? Yeah, we've got enough TP to get tech down there. What do you think, guys? Don't go in too big on this because it is not the trade of the century, but I think it might be worth putting something on it, put it that way. Let's look at the hourly one. 15-minute. Little bit of sideways for another, maybe with down. So it's not really bouncing much. But don't go too big. Should we have a look at it? See what you guys think. Leave it alone. Well, have a look at it. If anyone likes to look at it, do it. If you don't, two people, not me, two people other than me, like the look of it, I'll put it down. And we'll put it just above here. TP and put that 1.2835. Can't squeeze it. Maybe use the forehand. Maybe squeeze on the forehand. Can't really, stops giving me the problem. I don't want to put the TP any wider than that. No. Can't get a risk reward. So I'm going to leave that. Okay. That's also true, Peter. Okay, we'll leave that then. Anyone wants to do it on their own back, obviously it's their money, they can do what they like, but I'll leave that. Okay. I think a couple extra guys might be joining us soon as I post on the VIP group. Then we can go over and explain the mechanics of the straddle trade probably around about 10:30, just to go over it again. Anna Marie and Pietro and finally probably Gerard, and that start yawning like mad because you've heard it so many times, but just have to fill these guys in so they're ready for it. Okay. Save your balance for the straddle. Yeah. Yeah, because it's crabbing a bit at the moment, so we'll leave that. Yeah. Okay, was there anything else? Just to change the subject, I'd look at a share, the possibility on the GS. I think there might be a possibility of maybe some downside on this one. This is for later on this afternoon, clearly. I think there could be a possibility of some downside. A bank, I think, looks starting to look a bit iffy. It's gone up quite a bit. It's got a 200 to hold it. We put the stop up here somewhere. How far is that? $38 stop. No, that can't be right. Sorry, $3. That's ridiculous. Put it up here. Yeah, $10 stop. That's not a problem on a $300 trade. $12 share. Yeah, we can certainly do that. What do you think, guys? I took UNH for sale. Excuse my ignorance, Gerard. What's UNH? That one I don't know. We'll find out. Hey, we'll learn something here. UNH. Oh, United Health Group. Oh, okay. Have you made a healthy profit? Took for a sale. Yeah, I made a profit. It didn't look very good to me. It looks like it went up if you sold it. Anyway, looks like that might be a possible as well. A bit more confirmation. See how it ends up past 3, guys. If it opens down, you might want to look at that as a possibility. But yeah, Disney we definitely missed. Sorry about that. Finally, every day we miss Disney. One of those things. The pullback is your profit. Okay. God, you must have been on it. Bloody hell. What was I just discussing? Oh yeah, GS. I think leave 4 for the time being. Seem to be coming up. We're chasing it now. Right, GS. The possibility of that one. I quite like the look of that one. A sell on GS, and we can put the stop above this guy here. And it wasn't at that price till this massive fall off occurred there due to, I don't know, obviously a fundamental that occurred. And that's back in March. What are we now? July. So that would have been, what, 4 months ago. So nice stop out of the way. What is the Nasdaq Dow doing? That's part of the Dow, I think. I think it's big enough to be part of Dow. I'm not too sure. What's Dow doing? Let's look at the NAS. Hope you left the NAS alone. It's not giving you any decent clear-cut buy or sell for me at the moment. Pretty sideways. Okay, so yeah, I think it's a possible GS, guys. If you like, I can do it, but obviously it's the risk reward calculator is slightly different. You got to go to LMS and you get the Excel spreadsheet for the calculator. Go there and you'll find it. There's a chance I can maybe copy and paste it. I wish I had more technology. Most of the guys could do that. I might be able to. Can I do that? See, give me a second so I can work this out. I can't. Can I copy it? Yeah. What I'm going to do is maybe ask you guys, okay? I'm looking for some youngsters that could help me out with this one. Give me a second to open it up, so you can help me how to copy and paste it to you guys. Just stop the share a second. Tell me if you can see it. I'm just about to share it now. Can you see the risk reward calculator, guys? Great. Now, come on, youngsters. How can I copy and paste this for you onto the chat line? What do I do here? Do I right click or what do I do here?
No.
Well, that's it. Anyway, you get in the LMS. So I don't want to right.
You could, Roger, you could probably close that file, save it as it is, close it, and drag and drop it to the WhatsApp group, or if maybe that could possibly work.
So, sorry, you're losing me completely. What do I click on file? I'm a 2-year-old in this.
Yeah, you close it, you save the file, you close it, obviously save it and you close it, and then maybe you can drop and drag it to the WhatsApp group. That could work. I don't know, I'm just suggesting.
Okay, maybe that'll work then.
Or otherwise you do a print screen and then you do the same thing, you save it and you drag and drag it to the WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Otherwise, everybody with a cell phone can just take a picture of your screen and then we've got it.
Yeah, they can also do that, do a print screen as well.
Not
Yeah,
even.
That's not going to work because it'll be still. You need to have somebody who can fill in the missing pieces and then make it work from there. A screenshot wouldn't work. You know what I'm saying? Because then you. Oh, okay. What you do is.
Roger, save it on your desktop.
Well, I have
And then,
desktop.
and then at the bottom of the chat part of the Zoom, you'll see there's a tab called File. If you click it, you can upload documents. So you go to File, your computer, and then you paste it onto the chat.
Okay, right. I'm busy with this then. I get your point. It's going to take a bit of time. So other guys who do have that handy and we've got the sort of tech savvy to do it, maybe you can do that and copy and paste in the chat line for everyone. Okay. I'll be honest, I actually don't use it because commissions of 0.4% are that small. They don't really worry me. So I just a little bit on the top of my head. I'll do it for you in the way I do it. So let's just put this on first of all. I'll put it out for you here. I'm going to put the stop here. So I'm going to do that. I'll tell you exactly where the stop is now. Put the stop there. A little bit, just a tad higher. And I put the TP down here. That should do it. Maybe it's a bit wide. Maybe I'll get too cute. There, that should do it. Yeah. Okay, right. So all I do is I take one from the other. 348.34 minus 337, call that 20, is going to be $11.20. So I'm going to round it up to $12. Somebody's got the brains. Who did that? Thank you, Nikki. There you are, guys. Nikki's done it for you. Right. Okay, there you can play around that. Save it. Make sure you got it saved in your laptop. You refer to it. Because that includes a bit of commission. So it's $11.20. I'm just going to make it $12 a share. Okay, that'll include commission and everything. So at $12 a share is your risk. Now $12 is what, about 200 rand. Okay, so you can. So let's say it's $12 a share. It's $1.20 per 0.1. Okay, and you can multiply up from that. Oh, I haven't done it even nicer on there. Okay, so let's put that on there. GS stock a sell at 337.20 or better. Don't forget if it opens slightly higher, you're getting a better price. Okay, SL 348.35, call it. TP 316.65, call it. In fact, I'll give that and post that. Now, somebody can then open up the CFD calculator and then they will give you, I think it's in will be in dollars, that's correct, and these converted to rands. But it's going to be slightly under $12 a share. So I'm going to put it at risk is 1.2 per, get it more accurate if you use a calculator. That's about right. Or that's about what, 20 rand. 0.1. There we are. One time, because it's an expensive share, you can use a fraction. So if you want to risk 20 bucks, which is a bit ridiculous, 0.1, clearly then you just extrapolate it up from there. I hope that's all clear. There you are. If you like the look of it, and obviously you can't do it now, it's only later on because the market is closed till 3:30. Right, some new guys just joined here. Very much I'm trying to encourage people to use the trading room anyway, not just for straddle trades, because it's only going to be done by us here in the trade room today, the straddle trade for the euro. It's not going to be a special session for everyone else. So the guys in the VIP, I put it out there to come and join. It's worth coming early, but don't come in at much, a bit like talk to you guys, but please guys, don't 15 minutes beforehand. You won't know how to put the trade as you already do know in the first place. So just bear that in mind. Okay, and the idea is not just the straddle trade. Hope it works out for everyone. What a pleasure. We try and encourage people to take the effort to, even if they can't make it due to work pressure, at least look on the portal, go down to social media at the bottom and go to YouTube. It's recorded there because hopefully then they'll learn some stuff which you're going to need for trading. So yeah, but the more people can actually be encouraged to come in here, the better it is. So there we are. Because I do know for a fact a lot of people are trading more because it's a bit of fun rather than actually trying to learn the practical aspects of it. Okay, but it's just roundabout right what I posted there, if you like it. That's the bank, all sorts of stuff. The finance group, best way of putting it. Okay, right. Let's see. Anything going on into the trades there? NZD CAD. Didn't want to do it, did we? That might be a possibility. Buying round about this level. Seem to be holding there, to be fair. No, if you're not keen, okay, I'm not pushing in case I'm wrong. Dollar yen was a sell. But nobody seems keen on that. Okay, that's about all I've got for the moment. Okay. So, right. Whilst we've got a moment, any questions about the guys? Okay.
Yes, Roger, I have a question.
Yeah.
I sometimes still get confused when you're talking about the buy zone and the sell zone with
Okay.
your 4 charts,
Yeah.
with the 4 lines on the chart. So if you can just clarify when is it a buy zone and when is it sell zone for me, please.
Okay. Just a second. Just I don't think I put the economic calendar on, so just in case I didn't, I'm going to do it again. Just give me a moment. And as I'm doing that, I'm going to put my name down as well. I think most guys have got it, but just in case, I'm put it down. This is my WhatsApp contact details. Okay, if you want any assistance, don't have it. Only on funded accounts above 500, preferably more. VIP group, you need $2.5 grand or $150, and I'll upload you. Tell me by WhatsApp, and I'll do that, no problem. Okay, it's quite straightforward. That it's as I mentioned to guys before, the dark blue lines are 50 simple, and the brown one is a 200 simple. Those two moving averages are used worldwide more than any of the others. Because of that, they become what I call self-fulfilling, if you know what I'm saying. And as a result, I strongly suggest you have those two. App must have those two, really. If you like, have all 4. So we'll count them down. That's the 10. This is the 50. That's the black is the 100, and that's the 200, all simple. Put them on your chart. Once you've done it, go right here, go to templates and save the template. Once that comes up, put your name in there and press save. So if you lose your charts, all you do is you right click, you go to template and you pick the one you like, the favorite, you save several, and they'll be up and running again. Right, okay. I use it for 2 reasons, support resistance and as a filter. If it's above the blue and the brown, it's a strong zone, a neutral zone between the two. If it's below, clearly a weak zone. Now, does that mean you only buy in the strong zone? Not necessarily, because you can get an area where it might be considered overvalued. Look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. It couldn't break any further up. So it looks like it's overvalued. So in that case, I might sell in the buy zone. Similar, I might buy it in a weak zone because I think it's undervalued. But overall, just a sort of quick filter, if you like. So we'll change it to this one here. Let's change to something else. EURCHF, just the hell of it. Is that above the brown, the blue, or below, or in between? Well, clearly it's below, so we look to be selling it. Would you sell it now? Below, we want to sell the rallies. You look at that. If it's up here, you buy the pullbacks here, you sell the rally, or unless you get it already there, then what a pleasure. Or if it's between the two, you can buy or sell it. So if it's a range trade, you might buy it there and sell it there till it bounces either side. Okay.
Morning, Roger. I have a question with applying the moving averages.
Yeah, go, please, go for it.
When you click on them, let's say you edit it to 50 day, and then underneath it says apply to. Where do you actually have to apply to? Close, open, high, or?
Well, you can close it by doing this. You just right click on it and delete it. Okay, so I'm going to put it back on again. Go to the top of my chart. You hope to see my little arrow there, cursor, what it's called. Insert, okay, indicators. Again, go down to trend, and then I go to moving average. Click on there, and I'm going to put in 100. I'm then going to change from exponential to simple, and then I'm going to change that to black. Make sure it's double thick. Yes, it is. Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Do you see after method it says apply in, apply to?
Apply to where?
Just after method. On method you said simple.
I see. Okay.
Roger, what he means is when you actually setting up the moving average, there's a function where you can set it to either to look at the opens, the close, or the open highs.
Oh, apply to.
Exactly.
Oh,
Yes.
sorry.
Yes.
I prefer the close because you're going into the day. It closed yesterday at that price. I don't think it makes a lot of difference, to be honest. I'm just stuck with close. It's work for me. That's what you mean. But I actually can't think it open. That'll be opening at midnight this morning, or it'll be closed at midnight sorry, first thing this morning or closed last night, pretty similar. So I'm not sure it makes a lot of difference to stick with close.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much, Rog.
Well, thank you very much, Jacob, and thank you very much who helped me out. It's Pietro, helped me out there. As I said before, they're not going to make me the chairman of the board of the software department anytime soon, to be honest. So there it is.
Roger.
Yeah.
On that same note, I just wanted to check. So on the GS, can you just explain
bit
your
broken,
reasoning
Nikki.
with the 50 and the 200 moving average? Because can you hear me now?
A little bit better, yeah.
Hello?
Go for it. Yeah.
Okay. So I was just asking, on the GS chart, and if you look at that, it looks like it's range trading because it's in between the 50 and the 200. How did you know it was a sell using the moving average?
Okay, right. What I've done there on the GS, you mean this one here? So neutral, you buy or sell it. I'm looking here, and it's risen quite a bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of the last 6 days candles upside. It's looking, it's pretty close to 200, which is held before. The only time it didn't hold was that fundamental. Fundamental has nothing to do with technical. It's changed the whole system around, as you know. So that is the read. It seems to be holding that ceiling. It seems quite a thick ceiling, a nice concrete, very thick ceiling seems to be holding. I think a lot of the marks overcooked. Banks with these higher interest rates at the moment are having a little bit of struggle, and they have to have, by law, increase their capital protection, which means what that basically means is that if they have any problems in the bank, the guys won't lose their money and they don't have to go to the government to bail them out. See what I mean? The shareholders and that will lose, but the clients of the bank won't lose. They increase the capital, and also they're getting a little bit more circumspect who they're lending to. They're increasing the requirements before they put out the lending aspect. So putting that together on the economic side, looking on the technical side, as you pointed out there, Nikki, it looks like a range trade. I think it's getting overcooked, had a big move yesterday. I think there's going to be quite a bit of profit taking. So that's why I said it looked like we could get some downside. And you can sell it here or buy it here between the two. Does that sort of answer it or confuse you more?
Sure, I understand you. You basically use you also use the previous the previous candles as resistance on, even though it is range trading, you kind of see where it might bounce back.
That's correct. Well, it might open up here and then come off even better. Okay, right. So I'm just saying, how far is that? Only about $3. We've got to stop up here. So even if it does go up and down, it doesn't really matter, because as long as it stops there and it ends up coming down here, that's the point I'm trying to make. And you can see a few highs here. Look at the bodies there. They tried pushing up and they failed. They tried. So now you've got the ceiling there. You always talk about glass ceiling. You can break it fairly easily. But if it's a concrete ceiling, you need far more power to break through. And it hasn't broken through for a while, in fact. You see what I mean? Okay. Okay, Ivan, Herod, everybody out there. Just to simplify it this way, you're in a hotel room on the 4th floor, and you're a little bit scared of heights. You want to go down to the 3rd floor. So you're going to short it. Where do you want to short it? If you want to short it near the ceiling, you get the idea. Or if you want to go back into the 4th floor, sorry, the 5th floor, the one above, you want to maybe attack it, not at the top of the floor in case it doesn't break through at the bottom. So this to me is really the 4th floor. That's the 5th floor. This is the 3rd floor. And I think it's till I see it get out of this, go into this floor or that floor, I'm going to range trade this. What did I say? The 3rd, the 4th, well, a 5th, 4th, 3rd. Okay. We're in the 4th floor here. I think it might have a bit of downside to the bottom. If it breaks through, we'll set it down again. If it doesn't, we might, depend on the circumstance, buy it back up again. Range it between these two levels here. Ignore the 100. Don't ignore it completely. You might have a little bit of support resistance, but I'm going to aim as my target there and set it there in case it doesn't get to the ceiling. I've got it right out of the way, my stop loss, and even it right out of the way, it means because it's quite wide, I've reduced my position size, and I've still got a decent target, which is not the thumbs up. It's actual possibility of getting there. That's the reason behind it. Are we all good with that? If you look at the picture and take all the other clutter out of your mind and on the charts, etc., you'll find actually it's not really that complicated. What is complicated is dealing with human irrationality and emotions. That's the complicated part. As I said to Fania, chatted to him yesterday, I said that even he, or you might find anybody there, you don't know the mood you're going to be when you get up in the morning, apart from being freezing bloody cold. So if you don't know what mood you're going to be in tomorrow morning, how can anybody else know? And that's the emotions for you. That creates some bloody funny things going on. But that apart, most of this is, yeah, you look at it, it's just a picture of what the buyers and sellers are doing, and it tells you a bit of a picture. A little bit of practice, like changing gear. But when you first change gear, it looks a bit awkward, isn't it? You know, you stall the car a couple of times, you're learning. But after a while, it's not exactly rocket science, you know? Yeah, that's the general idea behind it. Because I tell you right now, most people, when they come used to something, fear goes through the roof, and they start thinking it's all complicated. Once they calm down, have a look at it again, and they go, no, it's not that complicated, you know. No, I'm not talking about price action, what's happening around the buy and sell around the world. That's you know, that does what it does, but the actual thinking behind it is not that complicated. You can complicate it a lot more. A lot of fancy stuff out there with the stochastic crosses, that and that moving average on crosses the exponential, crosses the whatever, you know, I mean, blah blah blah. You can do all that if you like. I'm not sure that can make much difference. Yeah, Einstein, I think, once said, just a second, once said, if you can't explain something simply, however complicated it is, it means you don't understand the concept in the first place. Quite a good point there. And let's strip up the complication, keep it straightforward. Yeah, let's have a look at something. Let's just pick one we haven't looked at for a while. Have a look at Meta for a while. Let's have a look at bang, go across. Right, just make sure all the information, clicking the forward daily. What's that tell you? Bang, 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 clear up trend. Simple as that. Very high, be nervous to buy it. It looks like we're getting into a sideways motion. Are we going to get some downside? It could well be, but not enough now to convince me to go against a very strong uptrend. I'm a bit nervous to buy at these levels, but leave it alone. Bang, 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 and move along. Get the idea. That's not complicated, is it? Let's try GBP NZT. Anyway. Again, buy level. It's come down to support, possibly some upside. What made me hesitate is because I like the New Zealanders to sell. That's not a problem. But the pound has weakened a bit because the CPI this morning, so I might just give that a bit of a miss. If I hadn't had a CPI this morning, I could say possibly buy on that one because it's come down, test support, and before the CPI, it was clearly the stronger of the two. Come down support. There, you can see that line there. Probably buy it, stop down there, so I'm going to TP up there. Yeah, I would do because they got a product that in the USA now. Now, most of the chips were made, the top quality, higher level ones are made in the USA. The cheaper ones are made in China, and they had a monopoly on it. A lot of problems in cars and cell phones because they couldn't get an adequate supply of chips. Now NVDA has come to the party, and as a result of it, that massive, people I'm sorry got caught in it, massive, much higher profit than expected, like Microsoft, but even bigger than Microsoft yesterday, had that big jump. So let's go and do it. So as soon as that happens, should we start selling it to have that big jump? And I said, no bloody fear. Let's just get this thing up to date. We're on the daily one. Yeah, no, I've got the wrong one here. Just make sure it's all up to date. Yeah. Sell it. No, why would you sell it? It's just when they pull back, it's a bit of profit taking. The innate strength of the company producing a product like oil, everybody wants it. You can't do like a cell phone. You know what I mean? You've got to have it. So this one is better basically by the bit overcooked at the moment, but the long term. So I'm just going to shut this off. So try and keep yourselves muted, guys. I'd love to mute you all. Okay, hang on. Yeah. That's muted, yeah. Okay, yeah, so this is a good chance to get the 600. I'm gonna mute you guys. Thought I muted you all. They're all a bit high because we're allowing, but this particular one, unless some radical new quantum chip comes in and puts them out of business, that's the trouble with techs. Your expertise makes you a millionaire today and makes you broke tomorrow. New invention technology so quick comes out. But at the moment, unless some radical change comes or new invention comes in, that's a good chance of getting to 600 on the long term. Very much so. But would you be buying it now? It's too close to the ceiling. Let's see if we get a bit of a pullback to buy it. I won't be selling it though. If you come back around these levels, you can. And remember, if the NAS and fear comes in, the NAS starts falling or whatever, even the good companies go with it. Have you noticed that? You know, even you might say, that's a very good company. Why is that going down? Well, it tends to go with the momentum. If the NASDAQ starts coming off and that big tech ones start coming off and smaller tech ones start coming off, this will probably come off again in sympathy. But that apart, I'll be looking to buy it around about there, or I'm just going to miss the bloody thing. Mine's been NASPA's in the old days. It was about 500 Rand. Then it went up and thought, wait for a pullback, didn't occur, wait for a pullback, never occurred. So you ended up missing the bloody boat all the time. But I'd be very, very nervous to buy at this stage. Maybe get a better price, but certainly wouldn't be selling it. Okay, before we go on to the straddle trade, a few of you guys have come in here to explain it. Any more questions on the Western Front there? We'll check some of the trades. Any traders still in? I hope they're doing well. Don't forget, don't move your stop. We get stopped out. That's the pain you got to. It happens and it will happen, as we all know. Don't try and say, it's bound to come back. I'll move the stop out the way. Modify stop towards entry, never away, just increasing risk and making the point was having a calculator. I have a calculator, is going to move the stop away every time. Okay, we'll do the straddle. We'll set the straddle trade probably about 5 to 11. But maybe just go through it now. But before we do that, any questions on the trading, any particular trades you want to have a quick look at before we go into the straddle? Certainly. Just give me a second. Please, guys, let's just do the trading room. Please, mute yourself. We don't want background noise. Okay, NZD CAD. Just wait for the to come on if I'm muted. NZD CAD. Yeah, I've unmuted you all. So it's NZD CAD. Right, NZD CAD still coming off. I was hoping to get a bit of a jump up here, but we're not getting sufficient movement. I think we might get upside, but it's not comfortably holding the 50, so it might come further down. I wouldn't be too keen on this one. I jumped the gun a bit, to be honest. That's my money. That led towards maybe a bounce after that movement, back up to the 100-day or something, but it doesn't seem to be happening. So I think give that a bit of a miss. Okay, Nikki, I've unmuted. Go for it.
To just ask, like in the classes, they always say like you should wait for 3 candlesticks as confirmation for when you should like go in for a sell or a buy. But then like after attending a few of these, I realized like if you wait for too long, then you kind of like miss the bus. So where is that sweet spot in either waiting for confirmation for too long or missing it, the trade?
Yes, a spot on everything except the sweet spot. I don't know, nobody does. So you've got to take a bit of a guesstimate on that. There's no such thing as 100% sweet spot. As regards to candles, 3 candles, what do you mean? 3 monthly ones or 3-minute ones, depends on the candle, obviously. It depends on the situation as well. I mean, you might get, look at this, for instance. All right, so look at that candle there is on a daily, look at that distance, and then look at this candle here, look at the difference. So it depends on the situation, the volatility. It could be a 4-hour, it could be a 1-hour, something like that, sometimes a daily, depending on the situation. I'm afraid to say I can't give you a clear-cut answer to that. That'll just come from a feeling and experience, etc. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
I think I don't know if you're married, Nikki, but
no.
You're not. All right. Well, you just are now, and you've been married 10 years, by the way. So just to enlighten you on that. Now, when you got married, I assume because you care for the other person, that's why you get married, right? But do you know that person that well after 1 month or 10 years later? Ask Anna Marie on that. You've been married about 50, 60 years or something. I can't remember what you said, a hell of a long time. Now, after one syllable comes out your spouse's mouth, you know virtually what they mean. You get a feeling for it and get a knowledge of it. Same sort of principle here, if you know what I mean. Not an exact science. I mean, but hang on a minute, Joe just said that, because I don't know Joe that well. And the person being married to Joe very well said, no, they always say that. We actually mean the other. Okay, you know what I'm saying? You just get a feeling for it. Not very long. You know. You're a GBP. Okay, it's about the best I can come up with. It's not exact sweet spot involved. Remember, you always got to have a buyer and a seller. If I knew what the sweet spot was there, I wouldn't be able to buy or sell because everyone will be know as well. If I can know it, everyone else will know it, so it's not going to work. You're a GBP, it might pull back a bit, to be honest, but I won't be doing anything with it right now anyway, because we're about to do the straddle trade on the euro market. Okay, so leave the euro alone because we're going to do a straddle trade on the euro because we've got a CPI coming out at 11 o'clock. Okay, in about 20 minutes, you better get on with it then. Right, so leave it alone for the time being. Now, if you do any euro you want, I suggest leave the Swiss franc, leave it alone. But I'm going to do the euro dollar simply because it's got a pretty tight spread, so your costs are smaller. So we'll do that one. So I'll show you how it's done. If you haven't done it before, start yawning if you know it and get yourself ready if you do know it already. Okay, I'm just put on the 15-minute Zoom so I can see what the hell's going on. Right, we're going to use 10 pips above and below. What is your risk? 80 Rand per 0.01. So you've got to work out your own volumes. So I'm going to put it in. I'm going to go for a little bit more than I normally do. So I'm going to do, start off with, I'm going to show you what to do. Don't place your trade yet because it might you do not want to get filled before 11 o'clock. So I'm going to show you how it's done. So you go to euro dollar and you double click for a new order. You change from market execution to pending order. And then you go from buy limit to buy stop. And you put 10 pips, put your volumes in. I'm going to go 0.25. Okay. And then you put your price in. I want to put it at 1.12. Is that 3.3? Yeah, 3.3. That's correct. And then I place the trade. I'm just going to see, right click, go to trade levels, and I see it there. That should be 10 pips above. Yes, it is. Right, that's 10 pips plus minus. Remember, the market ain't going to stop for me. It's going to move around. It probably slow down a bit getting towards the release of the data because buyers and sellers are waiting, clearly. Right, so that's 10 pips above the buy price. Then I do the same thing on the euro dollar, where here we are. And I put in, I don't put a stop loss at TPR. What about after one of them's kicked in? I'm going to put, no, sorry. Let's get this right first. Too busy talking, I don't all put the wrong thing in. Okay, 10 pips above this side and 10 pips below this one. So that's going to be 1.1212. Right, you've got it above and below. Right, now if this gets hit, you delete that before you do anything else, and then you can start looking to put your stops in. Hang around for a few minutes to assist you with that. Stop loss is likelihood or whatever. If this one here gets hit, it comes off, then you delete that one. First thing you do, you delete the unfilled order. You don't want a whiplash where it kicks one in and then goes back and kicks the other in. Then you two opposite orders are wide apart, not going to do you any favors. That's why don't place it till about 5 to 11 to make sure they don't get kicked in. You know what I mean? If you're more experienced and you know how to move this thing up and down in the meantime, you place it now. But that's when you've done it before, know what you're doing, basically. But if it's the first time, rather make sure you understand the concept and then place it and make sure your volumes are correct. And then we'll take it from there. It worked out very well for the CPI this morning, and some guys did one yesterday. So some good stuff coming out of it. Okay. Actually, talking about that, it's 10 o'clock. Didn't get something on the RAND. RAND CPI. What happened with the RAND? Not much happened around. I'll check it out now. I'm busy on this one. So What about Loran just now? Okay, because that had a
Right.
CPI. Yeah, go for it.
Raj, do you always have to enter on a straddle trade on a 15-minute time frame? Does it have to be 15 minutes?
No, I want to see what I'm doing. If I put it on the weekly one, I can't see what the hell I'm bloody doing. That doesn't mean anything to me. I can't see it. All I'm doing is zooming in so I can see the bloody thing.
Okay.
I
So
can see it.
you could very well do it on a daytime
Yeah.
frame.
You can do it on a yearly one, it turns you on, but you won't be able to see the bloody thing. You know, it's like being on the GPS on the road, and you got the entire South African maps on the GPS. You can't see anything. You need to zoom. You know, you need to zoom in or out so you can see what the hell's going on. That's the only reason. Nothing more complicated than that.
Okay.
Nothing
Thank you.
scientific. I just see what the hell's going on. You don't get much movement, will you? Because it's getting pretty close to the release. It's going to be released in under 20 minutes. It's going to be pretty close. Okay, so that's about right. And 22, that's about right. I can modify a bit more like. But anyway, the big see what you're doing. Anyway, so bottom line is 10 above, 10 below. Work out your volumes, working on the basis of 18 rand, 10 pips above, 10 pips below, working out a sell stop, buy stop, don't forget, working out on 80 rand a micro, 162 micros, 320, you work it out, you don't know the maths, don't trade, but, and then delete the one that's not filled. That's straightforward, yeah. So that gets taken in. Obviously, you don't delete that one. You delete the one that's not filled, or vice versa. And you can't see the movement. That's another point. Since you're on about it, we'll talk about it. Yeah, okay. Put on a weekly, well, a monthly if you like. You can't see anything. You can't see any movement. It's not moving. This chart, this particular candle is what's the date today? It's 19 days old. You can't see any movement. Quite right. So there you are. Anybody not got the idea? Time to do it again if you still don't get the idea.
Got it. Just a quick one. It was announced that our inflation is back under 6 in the target for South Africa.
Okay, then they might have the 0.25% increase there tomorrow. Okay, where is it now? Yeah, that's what you mean. The core CPI month on month, 0.4 times 12, 4.8%. What a pleasure. UK would dream of that. But UK about twice that. Okay, I see it's slightly better. So there might be a slight weakening of the rand because they might not do the 0.25% expect interest rate. So you might get a bit of a weakening of the rand, and well, that'd be quite good if you to do the dollar rand then, but not as a first timer because of complication involved. Okay, it's I've got to chart it one more time if you get the idea, but we've got to do it now because it gives you time to understand and place the order. Are we all good on the straddle trade? If not, please quickly say so. If you wait another 5 minutes to react on it, you won't have time to learn how to place it.
Roger, just from my side, I'm just unsure when we put the stop loss in once the trade is kicked in. That's the only part I'm still unsure of.
I'm not sure either. It's a bit of a thumbs up there.
Okay, no problem.
Have a look at the situation. Put it this way, if it comes screaming up and already you're about 50 pips in profit, you might get it up to break even and then see what happens. If it starts coming off fairly quickly, might be worth taking it, something like that. It's a bit of a play on it, thinking on your feet, John. If you don't know, see, the problem is you're dealing with complete unknown what the reaction's going to be. It might have a slow reaction, might have a massive reaction. We have no idea. So after it's been released to see the reaction, then you just basically think on your feet. There's no set formula on that. Well, I haven't got it. It might be one, but I don't have it. Okay, do it once more. Delete these two. Got time to do it. Delete them both quickly. Don't forget, delete them. Where to? delete them, or you can delete them down here if you want, in your toolbox. Right, go to euro dollar, make sure it's 15. You can, I like to zoom in a bit, don't do that, do this. You can see what the hell's going on, no more than that, like you can see what's going on. Right, now, where's the euro dollar? Here we are. Double click on it. Change market execution to pending order, change the pending order to the buy stop, and then you've got to work out your volume. I don't know how much money you got, Cecil. If you got 3 grand and you want to risk 240 rand, you put it's 80 rand a micro. Just work it out yourself. I can't do that for you. I'm assuming you've all got matric mathematics. If you haven't, well, I'm not sure you'll. Well, I don't know what to do there. Okay, so it's 80 rand a micro for your volume. Work it out. I've got the buy stop there, and now you put the price in. Now you're going to put a buy stop above. It's 10 pips. Ignore the last decimal point. That's the point. So it's 1222 plus 10 is 1232. Got it? So it's one. It'll move around a bit. So it's not be exact. Don't panic on that. This is not an exact science. 1.1232. That'll do. Place the order. Now that is a buy stop above the market. Then you go back to the euro dollar, do exactly the same, except it'll be a sell stop. Sell stop. It should be defaulted your volume from the last one, so it might obviously be the same. And you're going to put in 10 pips below the sell price, not the buy price, the sell price. It's going to be 1.1209. That's correct. Yeah, then you place the order. Got it? 10 pips above, 10 pips below. Ignore the 5th decimal point. Just figure it. So it'll be 32 or 09. Get the idea. And then you wait. One of them gets filled, you close the other. The other, whichever does not get filled, you close. Cannot be any more simple than that. That's a good question there. It's a bit of, again, a bit of a thumb suck because you've got a little bit of a 10 pip here protection, which is almost like a hedge. But I'm working on, maybe it comes to about maybe a 50, on some of that, maybe a 50 pip stop. So yeah, that's works out about 80 rand. Not exact. It's plus minus on that mic. It's not exact stance either. But very good question. Take your point. It should cover you there on 80. Roundabout. PPIs are not as big a deal, so often I don't trade them. But some of them are quite good. I mean, GBP, some of that. And depends on my mood. If I'm feeling fairly confident for whatever reason, I might go 50% higher than I normally would. If I'm not that confident, I might go normal risk or whatever. But play it by ear. Reasonable, not major. Reasonable. It's got a 3-star. It'll have some effect, but it's a weaker 3-star than some of the others. I personally think CPI, this non-farm, should be 4-star. And you can see why it's just dangling around a bit. There's no other reason. It's because trades are slowing down. I mean, would you want to get into it, buy this one or sell this one before the big fundamental release? No, same sort of principle. Why does it move at all? There's a lot of high-speed trades in and out of the world. So it's good to come in here. You get a sort of background of what's happening around the world. It puts in a bit sort of better picture of what's actually happening. It's not just a line moving for the hell of it to make a buck. It's more to it than that. So I know it's 240 margin. You do not, well, there you are. I don't want my money got. It's 240 rand margin. That's fine if you've got plenty of free margin, no problem. You're not asking you want to be margin called on a fantastic trade idea simply because you went in too big and you haven't left any money in your account. But I don't see your account. If you've got about 10 grand, Nicky, 3 is a bit small. If you've got about 3 grand, it should be okay. The buy stop is, no, a buy is going to be a buck. It won't be minus. No, it'll be a buck, Madeline. The buy stop is 10 pips above the buy price. The sell stop is 10 pips below the sell price. All good with that? Because ask any of the guys who've done these before. That's not always, not 100%, but they haven't done feedback. I did okay on the GBP this morning, did very well. Some of the guys who took it did very well, so let's get another bash this time. Anna Marie is going to have a bash this. Hope you come right and pay back by sitting, lying in bed, freezing cold. Now you get out and now make that money back. Yeah, it's 10 pips above and 10 pips below. I think guys are trying to complicate this. If it's 10 pips above the buy stop and 10 pips below that for the sell stop. It's 2-year-old mathematics, that simple. How's it, Anif? I'm sorry, I'm just in the trading room at the moment. Can you go WhatsApp me or call me after 11, please? Maybe about 1/4 past, because we're doing a straddle trade. So about 11:15. Thanks very much. Bye. Bye. Tell when to place it. Yeah, sure we'll do, Martin. Sure do. Give it another 2-3 minutes. I don't want it to be filled. Place it now if you like. All I want is to make sure you're not filled. Sorry, someone wants to join the trading room. There we are. Vicky, the NAV. Well, I thought it hit the peak about 200 or 300 pips ago, but it still seems to be rising. I leave the LAS alone, Vicky. I really can't answer that. It could go back up to 16,000 or it could hold, come off a bit. Either way, I don't feel confident to buy or sell them. I haven't been like that since last week, actually. So I haven't touched it for over a week now. WTS climb, is it? Okay. Yes, it is. Hey, doing all right. So gold hit TP, maybe the WTI can as well. That's fine. Okay, yeah, fine. Okay, you can start placing your trade now. If you're not already placed it, you can start, make sure the full, give yourself time. 10 pips above, 10 pips below, as I've shown you, and place it. I mean, I can't dump it any further than that. Place your trade now. I'm sort of really doing it a bit now. Yeah, so you've all got the idea, place your trade. You want to give yourself time to have the trade placed before the release. And for goodness sake, close the one that's not filled. If neither of them are filled after about a minute or so, close them both. Yeah. Let's say it's vital, guys, to understand how to base the platform. You have to be a tech fundy to do it. A lot of stuff on there that's you probably know better than me, I don't know, but the basics you need to know. Yeah. Okay, have you all got your trades placed? I hope so. Another 5 minutes, so make sure it's placed properly. You don't have to rush it. You've got 5 minutes. Yeah. And thanks, Anna Marie. Anyone else helps? Any tips? Yeah, absolutely. Shift an economic calendar. See that, how it comes out. Fighting stuff, eh? Wait for the aircraft to take off. Starting up the engines, guys. Steady, isn't it? Doesn't have to be exact, actually. Bit surprising, some upward movement. Maybe some guys know something we don't know. Or maybe it's so thin, the trading, everyone waiting, that a big player now becomes an enormous player. Somebody get bigger movements and it's very thin markets. Keep counting. Welcome, Sean, everyone. We just got a straddle trade in, wait for the euro CPI data release. Let's see what happens there. Bloody awesome, yeah. We'll get the thing filled. Looks lean towards the upside, doesn't it? If you wonder what's going on, Sean. So just getting released just now, so I have to watch this. Too late to explain what's going on. Just keep an eye on something, see what happens. Half a minute, guys. Bloody hell. Came out exactly as expected. What a pain in the backside. I'm going to delete it. I'm deleting them both. Came out as exactly expected. Sorry about that. I can't obviously predict that. I'm deleting both. They don't be called in either side. It's come out exactly as expected. That's why I didn't know whether to go up or down. I only caught the long trade. Decided to come off. You know what I mean? So I've deleted both of them. Happens that time. Yeah, it's just the way it is. You know, disappointing, but there it is. So yeah, anyway, the pound worked out all right this morning. This one, yeah, like I've explained. Okay, hope you'll understand that. If it comes out exactly expected, then, well, you don't get any sort of big movements. Pity, yeah, you're right. We've got filled to buy, maybe you get lucky. Where can you put your stop? How far down is this? Maybe a little bit lower. Yeah, make it a 50 pip stop. Make it 1.1185. There you are. You got filled. Let's see how you did get filled. I didn't. Don't know how you got filled on that, but anyway, snapping as it may, you did. Yeah, well, I guess that's true, but we don't often lose. I think it's happened probably about once in a couple of months we've been doing this, or so 2-3 months we've been doing this. 3-4 months, whatever it is, only once it's happened. So it's a very high hit rate. This is just a boring hit rate. Sometimes that happens, okay. Not much else we can do on that. Okay, guys, catch you in the trade room tomorrow. And what's happening tomorrow? Japan, it has to be the crack of dawn. Interest rate decision, Japanese yen tomorrow morning. After someone, I think it is. It's out of interest. Okay, so that's about all we can add. Not much happening. And yeah, thanks for patience. Thanks for joining me. Bit disappointing, but oh well, one of those things. Catch you tomorrow. At least you know how to do the straddle trade going forward. Make it 1.1185. I'll write it down, just to make sure. Yeah, but I'm not sure we want to do a straddle on the case in the Q&A afterwards. But interest rate decisions come up as one. They've been fairly dovish for quite a while, so probably be as expected. So I'm just mentioning that. Yeah. Okay, guys, catch you tomorrow. Thanks very much. No, you can't. Good question for Gonan Vuzo. No. The reason being is there's bigger things happening around oil than what happens to the American supply. If it's slightly higher, it's supposed to have an effect. It's going to have some effect, but it's not nearly enough to make it worth doing a straddle trade. If let's say there's a Saudi coming out with in 10 minutes time, whether they are or are not going to increase or decrease 1 million barrels a day, that would have effect. But that's not big enough to make it worthwhile. Not enough meat on the bones. Okay. Look at GS later. That's a good point. I'm mind to talk about that after it's 11 o'clock. Good, thanks. GS, look at it later. Okay, guys, we'll send it out if we think it's good enough or whatever. Okay, cheers. Thanks for your patience. One of those things.